Okay, so Dawn is my Lula sister. What you onboarded just like a week or two after me. So we were in the queue together. We did a group chat, which was kind of amazing. There was like 6 of us, I think, Dawn?
Mm-hmm.
And we all launched within, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks of each other. So it was kind of an amazing start. Um, and Dawn can kind of tell you she's busy, busy, busy. And somehow she's so incredible that she cruise qualified in her first 4 months, right? Or did you do 5?
Um, I've been qualifying almost every month. I took it easy, which I'll talk a little bit about for you. I did take it easy last month, with the holidays and everything. And, I did take it easy a little bit. But yeah, I did qualify every month before then.
So I'll let you kind of take it away. If you kind of want to just tell them, I think it would be good for them to hear like what you do, like as far as your work, because I know you're busy, and you're a mom too. So I
Yeah.
think it's important that they know, even with a busy schedule and life like that, that it is possible to still hit it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All of them still are in the queue, most of them. So they
Okay.
don't really know what cruise qualifying means. They were super excited to be like, a cruise, but they don't really know what it means. So
Okay.
it's all up to you.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope I can help you ladies. Thank you for having me tonight. It really is like such an honor. Thank you, Lisa.
I'm so glad to have you.
Yeah. So like Lisa said, I onboarded the very end of June. And so, a little bit about myself before I started LuLaRoe. I'm a teacher. Um, and I have 3 children, and I was teaching dance. You name it, I'm a workaholic. I was doing it. So very, very busy, busy, busy. But I fell in love with Lula, and I love the way that it made me feel, and I wanted to bring it to other people. So yeah, I took the plunge just like you guys did, and I onboarded the very end of June and had my launch. I did an in-home launch the first weekend of July, and then I launched online a few days after that. Um, and, when I first started, I didn't know that there was a cruise. I just had this goal of go big or go home. I had just invested a ton of money that I didn't have, took a risk, and I knew that I wanted to do really, really well. So I just went for it. So yeah, I didn't even know that there was a cruise. Now, I later learned that you could qualify for a cruise. And what that means is that now it does change every year, and they haven't announced what it's going to be this year. But for 4 consecutive months, you had to reach $12,000 in sales for those 4 consecutive months to qualify for a cruise. And like I said, I didn't know it existed. So my very first month of LuLaRoe, I made over $12,000 in sales, not knowing that I was working towards a cruise, just that I could do well in this business. So that was really exciting. And then obviously once I learned about the cruise, I said, well, I did it the first month. It's possible. So why wouldn't I continue to work just as hard as I did, if not more, and continue to learn and do everything I possibly could to meet those goals of mine? One thing that, so basically I'm going to tell you my story, but I'm also going to just kind of give you some key points of, some things that I think have helped me along the way and things that I've learned along the way. And one thing that I did right from the beginning was I was very consistent with how I was working my business. I had a weekly VIP party in my Facebook page. My daughter is goes on, you have to go to bed, love. What, baby? Okay, go try, okay? Sorry. So I did my weekly VIP sale on my page in Facebook, and I also did a weekly hosted pop-up on Facebook. And that's it. I didn't do any in-homes. I did one hosted in-home towards the end of my very first month. But before that, I just was online. I was consistent. I made sure to post in my VIP page, daily, whether it was, a picture of myself, what I was wearing that day in Lula, or a question that I wanted to get my VIPs to comment on and keep the engagement going in my group. That's really, really important. You have to continuously be very consistent with your group. And when I first started, I had about 350 to 400 items of clothing in my inventory. Didn't have a huge inventory. It was a regular onboarding package. So I want you to keep that in mind, because even with a very small inventory, you can still reach your sales goals as long as you are consistent and you're having your parties in your page and your hosted parties, which are brand new eyes on your inventory, even though you may not have a lot. Those hosted parties are brand new people who are seeing your inventory for the first time. They don't know what you don't have. So just to be consistent, with whatever sales you're doing is key. But yeah, I hit around $10,000 in sales close to the end of my first month. And I was floored, obviously, because I was like, oh my gosh, you really can, make that much, doing LuLaRoe. I was floored. So by that point I knew about the cruise and I was like, okay, well, I got to go for it now. And so that's when I started to learn some more ways, not just those weekly pop-ups, like how I can continue to sell. So I started to hustle, and I had an in-home open house in my own home, just like I did for my launch, and that really helped. I did some, outfit sales online as a last minute resort to try and get some more sales in. And I gave my VIPs incentives to pay their invoices quickly. So things like that. I started to learn other ways to sell versus just doing those pop-ups and relying on those, once a week, twice a week pop-ups that I was doing. Cause I am very busy, and you have to figure out your schedule, what's going to work for you. And you'll start to learn, how many pieces you are going to sell at each party. So how many parties you want to do each week to meet that goal. So that's another thing that I kind of want to encourage you guys to think about is, think about what your goals are. And I know Lisa's so wonderful and she always talks about this with you guys. But really think about, your purpose, and think about your goals. Your long-term goals are huge. Where do you see yourself going with this business, and where do you want to be? And that's great. But for myself personally, in order to keep myself focused, I make myself weekly goals. I make myself daily goals. I know, what am I going to do to get to that point, my final goal? How am I going to reach my big goal? And that helps me stay on track. So I know if I want to sell, so let's just say, cruise qualifying is $12,000 a month. I know that I need to, I need to have at least $3,000 in sales each week. So I know, okay, well, if I sell, X amount of pieces, today, next week. So I keep myself focused by doing that. And I think that's big. And that's really important. So
I think
go ahead, Lisa.
For you guys, besides just thinking about 3,000 in sales a week, is also think when we break it down, it's 100 pieces a week on average. So you can do that think about how much, when she says like how many parties you need, if your average party sales is 20, you're going to need to do 5 a week to hit that 100 piece goal. So you can even break it down either way to kind of stay on track for the cruise qualifying. It's right around 400 pieces a month.
Right. And key is, to keep consistency with those pop-ups, and then to keep ordering as well, because you want your inventory to always look fresh for your VIPs. Your hosted pop-ups is always new eyes. But your VIPs are going to be seeing your stuff and you want to keep it fresh. So if they know that you're going to have something new each week, they're going to be excited to come back and see what you have. If they're seeing the same things every single week and you're not turning over your inventory through other parties or whatnot, that's when they're going to start to lose interest. And they're going to, they will head to other consultants who they know do have, not necessarily bigger inventories. And that's why I said that before, is that, I was able to qualify with my onboarding package. I did steadily grow my inventory, but I was able to cruise qualify for the first 4 months, where I had maybe, I started out with 350 to 400 pieces to, maybe 500 pieces by the end of that 4th month, because I really slowly grew it. But because I was having such a turnover with my inventory,
Mm-hmm.
I was able to place more orders and I was able to have new inventory and keep it looking fresh. So those two things, being consistent with your selling, with your pop-ups, and, order, when you can.
Now, I have a question with the VIP. She
Mm-hmm.
does a weekly VIP like I do. And do you do it on the same day every week? When you say consistency, your VIP knows what day they're going to party.
Yes, yes, I have 1 day a week that they know that they're going to come, and I have my VIP party. Now, something else that I started to talk about earlier is when I started to learn other ways that I can sell. So it wasn't just, I don't just do my weekly big inventory, album sale each week, which they do know is the same day, but I sell in between my pop-ups. So what I mean by that is you sort of have to think outside of the box as to, how you're going to sell. And I'm going to give you a couple of things that I do. And there are great ways to build relationships with your customers, not just selling to them. For example, if I get something in my inventory that I know one of my VIPs would love, it's their size, I send them a message.
Mm-hmm.
I show them a picture. I thought of you. They love that. And usually they'll buy it and then they'll say, okay, well, what else do you have to go with it? And, you're building those relationships, giving them really personal attention. And that's huge because, again, it's not just selling the clothes. This company is all about building relationships with your customers. I know Lisa knows every single VIP in her group, and not that she knew them ahead of time, but she has, done what I've done, and it's very slowly grown the group. When I do a pop-up, for example, I did one last week, and I believe there was 61 shoppers for that one pop-up, and I knew every single one of them, which I love. Versus when, Lisa and I have done a few consultant sales online together, which are always fun. I find them to be a lot more work.
Yeah.
I don't know the shoppers. I don't know them. I love knowing who my clothes are going to, it's that close relationship that you build with your VIPs that make this company so special and more fun, I think. I love that about this business.
And also, by the way, ladies, Dawn's outfits of the day, the way that she doesn't just dress up her mannequin, she lays the sheet down, she adds shoes and jewelry. It's a whole, when you look at her outfits of the day, they're appealing. So she does something very different. I mean, I just dress up the mannequin, or Kurt does, and they still look nice. And
yeah, they look great, Lisa.
I'll still sell 3 or 4 a week. But
yes.
Dawn, she makes hers, she does it different than everybody else does with the mannequins. I think that helps a lot too. I mean, be creative with your people and what they like to see and what works for you.
Yeah, you'll get to know your VIPs and you'll see what they like. I used to dress my mannequin, Lisa. I think your outfits look great. They really do. I love them. You get to know your VIPs and you know what interests them and what they like. And you can ask them too. You can ask for their input. What would you guys like to see? They love that. To get, to have their word in there makes them feel a bit more special too.
Mm-hmm.
So get to know them. I send them messages. I sell to them that way. If you can and you are able to have open houses or have people over for personal shopping, I strongly recommend it. There are times when I'll do my my weekly sale, I used to do on Thursdays, but I've recently switched to Fridays. My VIPs are homebodies like me. So we like to sit at home on Friday night. So I kind of switched it over. I seem to be better on Friday nights. So, but what I'll do is for my local girls, I say, come and pick it up on Saturday, and I'll do an open house, whether it's a mini open house. Come pick up your goodies, and they come into my home and they see everything out and they want to shop some more. So that's another way to get, some more sales each week. Of course, there are times I recently set up a porch box for pickups because sometimes it does get a little overwhelming when, everyone's coming into your home all the time. It's not always the most convenient times, but when you can have people in for personal shopping, I've had people come into my home and want to just try things on and leave spending $500, so it's definitely that, again, that personal experience that they get.
And I think Dawn too, didn't you have a hosted, wasn't you, I think Carla mentioned that you had like a hosted pop-up and you took all your stuff to somebody's house, even though they had said there was only going to be like 4 people coming.
Gosh.
And Dawn was like, I don't know if I want to do this. It's a lot of work.
She didn't live close to me at all. I had to drive an hour, away from my home. I said, I asked her, she said, no, let's do it. I said, okay, let's go for it. And I went, and there were 4 people there, including my hostess, and it was a $2,000 party. So you never know. It's not about the numbers. It's not about having a huge VIP group. It's about how many shoppers you actually have.
I've got goosebumps. I think it's the experience, especially with the in-homes. That's what I'm missing. I'm strictly online, and I do 100% believe if I was doing in-homes, I would be hitting cruise qualifying every month. I don't think that would be an issue because I sell about 7,000 online. So it's a little over halfway there. I would hit it if I was doing the in-homes. So if you guys are at a place to be able to get those girls in the clothes, pack your stuff up in the car, get it out there, because once people get in it, it's the experience that really sells it and the customer service. Dawn's a lot like me where we really do get to know our customers. They're not just our customers, like they're legit friends. Yeah. And those people that we don't know, once they're in the clothes, we're building that relationship and get to know them. That's why, like, you guys just saw my clothes when I started. I was taking pictures of 3 skirts because I have one lawyer who I met in a swap page, by the way, but she always likes black background Cassie's. I happen to get 3 in this box. So I'm going to message her, and I guarantee she'll probably buy all 3,
Yeah.
And the other thing, I just want to touch base, and then we'll open it for questions if Dawn has time. But the other thing I want to kind of point out too is in the beginning, Dawn's husband was kind of like, I don't know about this. Mm-hmm. And what was it? You were into 2 months, and I helped Dawn kind of put her spreadsheet together to see where she was at. And it changed her husband's mind. And he's doing in-home pop-ups with her now. Yeah. He wasn't not supportive, but he was kind of like, what are you doing? So if you can kind of touch about that, I don't know if anybody has this with their partner, but Lula Bros, if they're not on board, will eventually be on board once they see what you're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like Lisa said, he was 100% supportive of what I wanted to do. Didn't quite know what I was doing. But like I said, when I started, I'm a workaholic. So, and this is something that you'll figure out as you get started and as you grow. Like I was saying, you're going to figure out your schedule and how you're going to do things. But for me, I wanted to be working Lula like 95% of my day. So that was a huge struggle as well, because he saw me on my phone and he saw me doing this. But yeah, once he saw what I was doing and how the sales were coming in, he started to come around, and I also learned how to manage my time better. So that was huge. But yeah, now he comes to in-homes with me, which I love. I always try and bring somebody, but it's it's the best when he comes. And Lisa, he might even do a live sale with me soon.
I wish Kurt would do it. Kurt helps
He's
so
in the room.
Do it.
Do it.
And the girls love that. I mean, I
Yeah.
think they really enjoy even having them at the in-homes and stuff too.
Absolutely. You know what it is? It's entertaining to watch sometimes, but it lets your VIPs get to know you.
And it's more of a family business.
Yeah,
They get to see they're supporting a family business. And let me tell you, since my hubby got hurt in October, and he does like my outfits of the day and stuff like that, and I take pictures of him picking stuff out, I get messages from my customers that say, I just love that your husband is so involved. Because I think most women, when they think about a family business, they would love to work it with their husbands, and to see that. And I don't know, I kind of feel like in my personal life, I didn't think I could love Kurt more. And then he started doing stuff with my Lula. So it's kind of strengthened our relationship a lot too.
Oh my goodness. And Lisa, I loved his sign while you were home.
Oh my gosh, isn't he clever?
So
He's
funny.
so clever. He did that. I was like, what is that? I had to zoom in. It's the best. He's so
awesome.
Good.
It's awesome.
All right. So I'm going to unmute everybody, and then you guys can ask questions, and then we'll let Dawn get back to her evening, because I know you guys will see we're all crazy busy. If you make noise, it jumps and shows you on the screen. Okay, everybody should be unmuted. Does anyone have questions for Dawn?
Is it 12,000 retail sales or wholesale?
No, it's retail, and it does not include sales tax. So when
or shipping.
Or shipping. So, and that's hard to find right now until they come out with the new office stuff. So no shipping and no sales tax. You can go into like your payment tab and see what you did for the month, but you have to take out the shipping and the sales tax.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, well, if there's no other questions, Dawn,
I don't have a question. I just want to say that Dean has a pair of LulaRoe leggings on right now.
Can I see it?
You want to see it? They want to see it.
No.
Be a Lula bro. Oh my God.
Come on, do it. Everybody say it. Do it.
Do it. It's just a consultant.
Come on, get up. Just ask. Okay, here it comes.
Woohoo! They're so comfy, right?
Yes, they are.
Now that's a supportive husband right there.
Absolutely.
He has caught the vision.
Yeah, Rachel said that right after her launch, that she was updating him as she went, and he really got on board. Not that he wasn't on board before, but
Right.
they really start seeing it once you get going.
Now we just got to get Andrew in a pair.
All right, so any other questions about cruise qualifying for Dawn while we have her on the line?
Thanks, Dawn, for coming.
Yeah, it was. Thank you so much. And see, and I really love that she's super busy. She didn't have a massive inventory, and she wasn't doing a whole bunch of in-homes at least the first month. So it is very possible for all of us, as long as you have that vision and that goal. And like she said, I know you guys don't always comment when I talk about goals. You guys probably roll your eyes. But when you break it down into your weekly goals, you have to have those short-term goals to get to those long-term goals. And especially in a business like this where you have to stay organized, because you have to have your life going too. It's so important. Okay, well, that's it. Thank you, Dawn, for coming. I really appreciate you. I love you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I'm one of your biggest fans. So
sweet.
All right, I'll talk to everybody later.
Bye.
Bye.
Rachel, Haley.